What if I told you that the person earning almost half your salary is 10 times wealthier than you? Not richer on paper, not richer in theory. Actually, genuinely sleep well at night wealthier than you. And the reason has absolutely nothing to do with their job, their investment portfolio, or some secret side hustle nobody told you about. It has everything to do with their stuff. Stay with me, because in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact mental shift that separates people who always have money from people who always wonder where it went, no matter how much they earn. And at the end, I'm going to give you a dead simple action plan you can start today. Picture two apartments, same city, same neighborhood, similar rent. Walk into the first one. There's a 75-inch TV mounted on the wall, a leather sectional that cost $4,000, a kitchen packed with appliances, most still in their original boxes, closets overflowing with clothes, tags still attached, a spare bedroom that isn't really a bedroom anymore. It's a storage unit that pays rent. The person who lives here earns $95,000 a year, and they check their bank account with a knot in their stomach, 2 missed paychecks away from financial crisis. Now walk into the second apartment. You notice space, a modest couch, a reasonably sized TV, a kitchen with exactly the tools that actually get used, clothes in the closet that actually get worn. The spare bedroom? It's a bedroom. This person earns $52,000 a year. They have 18 months of expenses saved. They invest 20% of every paycheck. They check their bank account with calm confidence. Same neighborhood, same rent, nearly half the income, and 10 times the financial security. This isn't a story about income. This is a story about the hidden relationship between your stuff and your money that almost nobody talks about. Here's the idea that's going to rewire how you think about every purchase you make from this point forward. Everything you own costs you money twice. The first cost is obvious. It's the price tag, the number on the receipt. The second cost, most people never calculate it, and it's often bigger than the first. The second cost is storage, maintenance, mental energy, and opportunity cost. That treadmill you bought, it takes 20 square feet of your home. In most cities, that space costs you $600 to $1,000 a year in implicit rent for a machine that's probably holding your laundry right now. That boat in the driveway, annual maintenance alone runs about 10% of its value. A $30,000 boat costs you $3,000 a year to own, even if it never touches water. And here's the one nobody talks about: mental energy. Every single item you own takes up a tiny slice of your brain. It needs to be cleaned, organized, insured, worried about. Research shows that visual clutter literally raises your cortisol levels, your stress hormone. Your stuff is stressing you out in ways you can't even consciously feel. Then there's opportunity cost. That $15,000 home gym, in an index fund over 15 years, it becomes $50,000 or more. You didn't just buy a home gym. You bought a home gym instead of future freedom. Add it all up, and many things cost more to own than they cost to buy. The price tag is just the entry fee. Minimalists understand this. They're not avoiding nice things because they're miserable. They're avoiding things because they've done the math and decided most things aren't worth it. Here are the rules they live by. Rule 1. Calculate cost per use before every purchase. Before you buy anything, ask how many times will I realistically use this? Divide the total cost by that number. That's your cost per use. A $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per wear. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs $2 per wear. The expensive jacket is actually cheaper. That $300 kitchen gadget you'll use twice a year costs $150 per use. Meanwhile, a $30 tool you use every week costs less than 60 cents per use. This one calculation kills 90% of impulse purchases dead. Rule 2. Apply the replacement test to everything you own. Walk through your home right now. For every item, ask yourself honestly, if this disappeared today, would I go spend money to replace it? Not the bread maker, not the fondue set, not the clothes you haven't worn in 18 months. The things you wouldn't replace have negative value. They're costing you space and mental energy and giving you nothing back. Minimalists sell what has value, donate what someone can use, and discard the rest, ruthlessly. The psychological weight of owning things you don't actually want is real. Remove it, and rooms feel bigger, decisions feel easier, and cleaning takes half the time. Rule 3. Never upgrade out of boredom. Here's the trap that destroys high earners. Upgrading things that work perfectly fine. New phone, same functions. New TV, same shows. New car, same commute. New furniture because you're bored of looking at the old stuff. These upgrades feel like progress. They are wealth destruction in disguise. The average person replaces their phone every 2 to 3 years while the old one works fine. Over 30 years, that habit alone costs $30,000 to $50,000. Across all categories, lifetime waste easily clears $200,000. The rule is simple. Something is broken when it can no longer perform its function. Boredom is not broken. Novelty is not broken. A newer model existing is not broken. Marketing has convinced you that you have a problem. You don't. Rule 5. Create friction for spending and ease for saving. Humans take the path of least resistance, so make saving the easy path. Delete the shopping apps, remove your saved credit card from Amazon. Make yourself wait 24 hours before any non-essential purchase. Unsubscribe from every promotional email. At the same time, automate your savings. Move money to investments the moment your paycheck lands, before you ever see it. Treat savings like a fixed bill. Willpower runs out. Systems don't. The 24-hour rule alone eliminates roughly 70% of impulse purchases because most desire fades within a day if you don't act on it immediately. Rule 5. Count your possessions. This sounds extreme until you actually do it. Pick a category. Count everything you own in it. Write it down. Most people guess low and discover they own 3 to 4 times what they thought. Once you know you own 47 shirts, buying number 48 feels absurd. The counting makes the accumulation visible. Set limits. Maybe 30 total clothing items. Maybe a one-in, one-out policy. Every new item requires removing something existing. These constraints create friction that naturally slows acquisition.
Rule 6. Rent or borrow before you buy. Most purchases follow the same pattern: intense excitement, frequent use for a few weeks, then dusty shelf forever. Before you commit to ownership, test it. Want to try camping? Rent the gear. Want to get into photography? Borrow a camera. Want a kayak? Rent one 5 times first. This reveals 2 things. 1. Whether the interest is real or just temporary excitement. 2. Exactly what you actually need, so when you buy right. Garages across the country are graveyards of past enthusiasm. Ski equipment from a phase, photography gear from a dream, musical instruments from a band that played twice. Don't let your home become a museum of who you used to think you'd be. Rule 7. Understand the lifestyle multiplier. Here's what nobody tells you about big purchases. They never come alone. A boat needs a trailer, a tow vehicle, a storage unit, insurance, registration, cleaning supplies, and the right clothing. One purchase becomes an ecosystem of expenses. A home gym needs flooring, mirrors, ventilation, and often renovation. A pool needs chemicals, maintenance tools, covers, and landscaping. Before any major purchase, calculate the full ecosystem cost. That $5,000 item might actually be a $12,000 commitment when all the multiplier expenses are included. And it works in reverse, too. Eliminate one major possession, and you eliminate an entire category of ongoing costs with it. Rule 8. Define enough before you start earning more. This is the trap that catches almost every high earner. They never define enough. So as income rises, lifestyle rises with it. The new lifestyle becomes the new normal, and they need more income just to feel like they're making progress. It never ends. People earning $300,000 feel just as financially stressed as people earning $80,000 because their expectations scaled in perfect lockstep. Minimalists break this by deciding in advance what home is enough, what car is enough, what wardrobe is enough, and then they hold the line even as income grows. The person who defines enough at $60,000 in spending and then earns $150,000 is building real wealth. That $90,000 gap goes straight to freedom every single year. Rule 9. Measure wealth by optionality, not accumulation. Stop measuring wealth by what you have. Start measuring it by what you can choose. Can you leave a toxic job without panicking? Can you take 6 months off for a family emergency? Can you start a business without a guaranteed salary? Can you say no to opportunities that compromise your values? That is wealth. Someone earning $200,000 and spending $195,000 has almost zero optionality. They are chained to their income. Someone earning $80,000 and spending $45,000 is free. Every purchase trades optionality for possession. Before you buy, ask, is this thing worth reducing my freedom? Rule 10. Declutter in cycles, not purges. Most minimalism attempts follow the same failed pattern. Massive purge, feel amazing for a month, slowly reaccumulate, back to square one within 2 years. The solution is small, consistent reviews, a weekly glance at incoming items, a monthly evaluation of one category, a quarterly check on overall trends. Removing 3 items per week is sustainable. Removing 300 items once a year is exhausting and gets postponed forever. Cyclical decluttering also keeps you aware of which categories tend to creep, which emotional states trigger buying, which marketing tactics work on you personally. Awareness is prevention. Purging is treatment. Prevention always wins. Here's what to do right now. This week, walk through your home with the replacement test. Find 10 items you wouldn't buy again. Sell, donate, or trash them. Notice how it feels. This month, implement the 24-hour rule for every non-essential purchase. Track how many desires survive the wait. You'll be shocked by how few do. This quarter, count your possessions in 3 categories: clothing, kitchen items, and entertainment. Set a hard maximum for each. This year, write down what enough looks like across your major spending categories: a specific home, a specific car, a specific wardrobe. Put it somewhere you'll see it when temptation hits. Here's the thing nobody tells you about minimalism and money. The relationship works both ways. Owning less creates more money, but having more money also makes owning less feel natural. When your savings account is strong and your investments are growing, the desperate urge to buy things starts to fade because the stuff was never really about the stuff. It was about filling an emotional hole that financial insecurity creates. Fix the insecurity and the compulsion often disappears on its own. That apartment I described at the beginning, the one belonging to someone earning $52,000 with 18 months in savings, that's not a lucky person. That's a deliberate person. They didn't get there through exceptional income. They got there through exceptional clarity about what actually matters. The other apartment, the $95,000 earner, 2 paychecks from crisis, that's someone who never questioned the assumption that more stuff equals better life. Both of those lives are available to you right now, regardless of what you earn. The only question is, do you want to own your possessions, or are you okay with your possessions owning you? If this changed how you think about money, smash that like button and subscribe, because I make videos like this every week. And drop in the comments, what's one thing in your home you wouldn't replace if it disappeared tomorrow? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.